Spoiler alert, your first client is actually you. And that's true whether you're looking to work in house or agency side, freelance, consulting, basically anything within the world of social media marketing. And later on, we'll talk about the importance of developing a personal brand for this as well. But for now, it's important for us to talk about the importance of being able and being willing to test things out on yourself before taking on paid client work. This is how you're going to build up your confidence and your skill set, but also how you'll get to know your own personal style and figure out what you like, what you don't like, and where you want to invest more of your time into. You might find that you really love the fast paced world of Twitter, but you really hate spending time on LinkedIn. Or maybe through this process, you actually find that video is something you've never really thought about before, but you can really see yourself developing a skill there because it's something that really intrigues you. And even though it's challenging, you can see it being really rewarding and you want to explore that a little bit more. No matter what it is that you sort of find yourself in and the areas that really intrigue you, the beauty of all of this is that as social media marketers, we can get started straight away with no upfront cost. We can start practicing our skills straight away. And how freaking lucky is that? People will study for months and even years before they're allowed to do things like practice medicine or law or fly a plane or teach a class in a traditional school environment. So, as marketers, we're incredibly lucky. But I do recognize that not all of you will be comfortable putting your name out there straight away. I certainly wasn't when I started. I was still working full time as well. So, I didn't feel confident from that perspective and also just didn't feel confident in my skill set quite yet. So, you can do this in so many different ways. There's no right or wrong way. And for me in particular, when I was starting, I kind of put everything under the umbrella of living to Rome, which to me represented personal, digital, and financial freedom. And at the time, I was living as a digital nomad. So it worked really well for me in my business. But it really allowed me to have a bit of a degree of separation from what the brand name was and me, the person behind the brand. So this is how I set up all of my accounts. And for me, this just kind of stuck. But just so you know, I'm not the only one who thinks like this. These are some other examples that you can check out, including Peggy Dean, who is an artist and educator who goes by the username of the Pigeon Letters, and Burnt Toast here, which is definitely not a username you would normally associate with art or NFTs or anything creative potentially, unless that connection is made for you. And that is the power of developing a really strong brand identity outside of just the username. So you can have a business name or a brand name, or you can operate under your own, whatever suits you. And don't let anybody tell you that you're doing things the wrong way. There is no wrong way. There's just your way. Okay. So whatever works really well for you, do that. You don't have to do it the way I've done it. You don't have to do it the way that somebody else has done it. Just know that you've got different options. Well, the important thing is just to not overthink it too much. Pick a name, whether it's your own name or something that is meaningful to you, and register it on the different social networks so that you can begin getting familiar with the different platforms and practicing your skills as you go through the course. And you can easily do this by going to namecheck.com. I have listed it in your course guide, so don't worry about writing it down right this second. But then you'll be able to put in whatever username you're thinking about just to check the availability of it on the different social networks all at the same time, which is going to save you a lot of time of manually having to check every platform. You can also check domains. So for this, if I was going to say Maggie Works, I can see that I can't buy maggieworks.com, but I could buy .org or .us or .net. So it gives me a bit of an option there in case I want to register this as a website as well. But really the main thing I'm going to be concerned with is actually looking at the username. So if you keep scrolling, you'll be able to see all the different usernames. Anything that's in green is available. Anything that's in red is already taken. So if I was interested in the username Maggie Works, I would be able to register it on a platform like TikTok and PayPal and Vimeo and anything that's in green, but I wouldn't be able to get it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, etc., etc. So this is really handy because then I could go back and say, okay, what if I put an underscore in there or a dot in between Maggie and Works? Is that username taken on these other platforms? So this is a really good kind of overall check. Just one thing to keep in mind is that for whatever reason, these guys don't have Instagram as a part of their kind of username check. So that's just something you'll have to look at manually. And most importantly, do not feel like you have to focus on growing your social media presence from the follower side of things. If we're talking LinkedIn, I think there's a really big benefit to growing your connections in this space. First of all, they can endorse you for particular skills within the industry, which can put you on the map a little bit. And we'll talk about that when we talk about LinkedIn. But when it comes to platforms like Instagram or Twitter or anywhere else, I would say that you don't necessarily need to focus on follower growth. I think the key is just to practice your skills. I still have blank accounts. I still have several blank Instagram accounts that don't exist for any other purpose other than for me to test some stuff out on. So if I'm ever teaching something, it means that I can actually take you guys through how to post something without it going live on my account. Or if I want to practice going live, or if I want to practice posting a story, it means that none of that is being seen by any followers because I don't have any. And that's perfectly fine. You just need to kind of take away some of the overwhelm of this process because it can be quite overwhelming. So, if that means not focusing on follower growth at this stage, just so you can practice being comfortable with the platforms, posting on them, testing some stuff out, that's absolutely fine. So, just so you know that it's not that uncommon, it's just most people probably don't talk about the fact that they have dummy accounts to just test stuff out on. And now, in the next section of the course, we're going to dive into all the different platforms and the different strategies in each. So, I will see you in the next lesson.